Sono solo sogno all'orizzonte, mancano. Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me, sì. Le finestre mostra tutto il mio cuore che è acceso. Chiudi dentro me la luce che ho incontrato per strada. Time to say goodbye. I see my adesso si vivrò con te, partirò sulla libera che so. It's time to say goodbye. Quando sei lontana sogno all'orizzonte, manca le parole. E io sì lo so che sei con me. Tu mia luna, tu sei qui con me. Io solo e tu sei qui con me. Con me, con me, con me. Time to say goodbye. Adesso si vivrò con te, partirò su navi per mari che io lo so, non esistono più. Okay. To be again
Folks, Renette was a beautiful, social, lovable lady, and as such, she will want you all to squish up, please. So, yeah, there's still a lot of people arriving. The car park is very full. So we're in a shoulder-touching sort of situation, please. Renette, to see such a large group of people coming to pay respects and to remember her. Just for those of you who are inside, there's probably almost as many of you outside. And so for those of you who are sitting in the cheap seats outside, sorry that you are in the sun, and I do hope that you can hear me clearly. A little bit of housekeeping before we start, please. You're all invited to not rush off after the service. There is tea and coffee in the restaurant on that side. And then if you want to get anything from the restaurant, that obviously would be on your account. And then this building on this side of me and the restaurant, they both have toilets. So either which way, yeah. So gentlemen, please use the buildings and not the bushes. Just the other thing I just need to mention, please can these horrible things be turned off or put on silent or just go and go and go and go. And I'm asking you as a congregation, as a group of people who loved this lady, to squash this lady, to squash those rumors. Just for her dignity and for who she was. And so today, we're here to remember Renette, born on the 31st of July, 1973. She was born in Port Shepstone to Joe Fryer and the late Andries van Wyk. And she was the second daughter of 4 girls. So immediately we know why she behaved like she did, because she was a middle child. She was brought up on a farm in Donnybrook. She was proud of her Afrikaans heritage. And she started school at the Bulwer Primary School. She went, and then she went to Cater Ridge Primary, then Camperdown Primary. Yeah, a real farm school girl, this one. And then she did high school at Carter, here in Maritzburg. She matriculated in 1991. After school, she went to PMB Technikon and she studied there for a while and started her career as a law firm secretary. She was a mother. She was a daughter. She was a sister, a cousin, and a friend of many. Her sisters Deline, Heidi, and Jolene, and a sister-in-law to James. Sorry, James. A mother to Tara and to Brent. And as a mother, she was apparently a caring mother, incredibly forgiving. And her children were her pride and her joy. She was aunt to Hannah, Kayla, Hayden, Emma, Grace, and Blake. And she was an aunt to the full extended family. She was a caring, fun-loving, free-spirited, protective of her family, her friends, and her circle. She was extremely loyal and brutally honest. She wore her heart on her sleeve and made a joke or made light of many a tough situation. Her hobbies were wide and varied, from knitting and crocheting, cooking, running, when it suited her, gym, family, friends, fly fishing, finding the latest gimmick on the market. She loved to adventure, with holidays, fishing around the oceans. Her heart is in Africa. And when her younger sister abandoned her to New Zealand, she certainly had made it very clear that she was not coming to join you there. Many trips to the Kruger Park as a keen bird watcher. This is now stuck here permanently. She also traveled to the UK, to Zanzibar. And her ultimate final bucket list item was to go to Dullstroom to go fishing with Deline, to live out with sunsets and a grip on God's window. And so very briefly, that's a synopsis of this incredible, incredible lady. And with that in mind, I'm going to ask Tara to just lead us in singing. So can we stand? And I believe the lyrics are printed. If you don't have one, please share.
All these pieces broken and scattered, mercy gathered, mended and whole, empty-handed but not forsaken. I've been set free. I've been set free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that
I'm going to invite the family up in a minute to just come and share their own personal memories and their personal stories. But before I do, just to give them a moment from that song, which was beautiful, thank you, I want to read a poem to you, a challenge. It's written by a lady called Linda Ellis, and she wrote, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was that dash between the years. For the dash represents all the time we've spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. And so think about this long and hard. Are there things you would like to change? We never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger, to show appreciation more, to love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. And if we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering the special dash may only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would Renette be proud of the things they say about your dash? So I'm going to ask the family to come up. I'm going to start with mom and sisters, and they're going to just speak about Renette's dash.
Good morning, everyone. For those I haven't said hello to yet, and thank you for being with us today. It has been an amazing 2 weeks of love that is real from family and friends. Just a little emoji, a little I'm thinking of you, I'm with you, makes all the difference. And I can tell you nothing in life prepares you for this. And it's the wrong way around that a parent should bury a child. It's not how life should be. And I'm not going to lie, this isn't easy. In fact, I think it is the most difficult thing that I have done in my life. And to Pix, Hades, and Jolly, I'm sorry that you've had to go through this too. You all know that Renette was born second, and if I tell you she arrived a week early, that is so typical of her. I had all the practice on Deline, and she gave me a run for my money as a new mommy. So when Renette came along, I knew exactly what to do. I knew how to burp a baby, change a nappy, and whatever else goes with it. But Renette surprised me, and she slept from one feed to the next. I promise you there were days that I went and I would put my finger under her nose to make sure that she was still breathing, because she was just so good. She slept and slept and slept as a baby so that she didn't have to sleep later on in life. Her sisters asked me to tell you how her nicknames came about and more about the beginning part of her life that they can't remember. And the first nickname she got is the one that is sticking. You'll hear about Auntie Tick often. And it's T-I-E-K, it's the Afrikaans one. It's not that grey hoho that bites you. It's not that one. Her first nickname was Patat. Patat in Afrikaans is a sweet potato. And I think the emphasis was on sweet. Patat became Patat Tik Tik. I cannot explain how or why, but that was a little bit much for a 2.5-year-old to say. So it eventually was just Tick, and then it became Tikkie. And it wasn't the 2.5 cent Tikkie, it wasn't that one. It was from the sweet potato. Then later we moved to Donnybrook. She was about a year old when we moved to Donnybrook. And there was a guy there, and he just saw this little character, and he named her Bushrat. Because she was a bushrat. And our pet name for her at the end or later on in life was just Bushy. She was always a short little girl, even as a little girl. She was always short, and in Bulwer Primary School, her first school, I can remember her being, there were only 25 in the school, so everybody ran in all the races. But I can remember that when the gun went off, she actually jumped back 2 steps before she started running. And then the run was unique because she kicked her own bum as she ran. I can't remember that she ever won. And in the later years when her and Heidi were doing marathons, she wanted to ask me where we had used the bathroom. And her exact words were, "Where were we when we wee-weed?" And that never changed. Never changed. She always had a very different way of saying things. In 1984, we moved to Camperdown, where she attended the primary school. She partook in all the sports days. She played hockey, she played netball. Academics were never her thing. She did the bare minimum just to get over it and just to get by and not get into trouble. At Carter High, she continued in this vein, often to the embarrassment of her straight down the lane big sister who broke no rules. Renette was there for 3 weeks and she was in detention already, much to Delene's disgust. I learned later in her time at Carter that she packed 2 bags to go to school. One was her school bags and the other was a civvies bag. And she caught the yellow bus from Camperdown, and she would get off the bus and go into the bush next to Carter High School and change into civvies and spend the day there. You can dream how. And then she just got dressed and back on the bus to come home. Miracle upon miracle, she did pass matric. on the bones of that behind that she kicked when she was young. She qualified as the legal secretary, and in her work, she was dynamic. But I'm not going to say the same about her home and her house or her cupboard. She did a stint in the UK and then returned to South Africa, where Tara and Brent were born, and she became a devoted mother to them. Tara and Brent, you were her world. You were her life, and she loved you with all her heart. And I want you to hold on to that. Okay? You've got lots of auntie mummies now, but just remember she loved you dearly. She went through difficult times in her life, and possibly about 3 years ago, she tackled a new era with determination to make it on her own. And I'm proud to say that she was holding down 3 jobs to make this life for herself. And she was just getting it all together recently. She was the one who learned to knit and crochet from mommy. None of these guys feature there. She loved cooking. She loved entertaining you. She kept up with her running. She attended gym regularly. And of course, she knew all the drinking holes. She had the ability to diffuse a sticky situation with her humorous comments. She was quick to comment, often speaking before she thought, and had a sharp sense of humor, which would have everybody in stitches. In fact, if you heard that there was laughter going on in the room, she was in the center of it. But if your chips were down, she was there right beside you, and she walked with you through it all. She never let us down. She had no brakes. She had no off button, and she did not come with a remote control. She was one of a kind and will be sorely missed. I do not know how we are going to do life without her. She's left a huge void that nobody will ever fill. My sincere thanks go to Tina for helping us on that fatal Friday. Without you, my girl, I don't know where we would have been. So thank you. Thank you for what you did. I really appreciate it. Thank you to each one of you who have come to support us today in person or online or outside. We appreciate every prayer, every scripture, every message of love, of care, compassion, the songs, the poems, the emojis, or in whatever way you have shown your love for her to us in the past 2 weeks. I want to thank the people who have come from far, James and Jolene, Blake and Grace. Thank you for coming all the way to Africa to be with us. And I know I've got a brother that has traveled up from the Cape, and I don't think he even got a seat inside. And his daughter's with him, and I so appreciate them representing the rest of my family. And then I would just like to thank Bryce for the venue. I don't think we could have found a better venue to suit Renette. She loved nature, and she would have loved to be here. In fact, I think she's possibly looking down on us. I've said, I don't know how we're going to make this life without her. I believe, though, that God will carry us through and that we will manage day by day, minute by minute, and we will get through this.
Yeah. So, to my precious Tick, some things in life are hard to understand, and today is one of those times in my life. You were my oldest buddy. God gave me a friend and a sister all wrapped up in a beautiful, colorful, and energetic bundle. I would have liked a few more years, but I thank God for the nearly 53 years we got to spend together. You were my little sister, but you were also my little pint-sized hero. I often wished that I could be a little less serious and have more of your spontaneous, sparkly character. You loved life. When you walked in the door, the room just brightened up. I really admired your go-getter attitude. Your determination would overcome any obstacles that were placed in your way. Life gave you some hard knocks, and you always faced adversity with courage and prayed for God's guiding hand to help you through. I remember the last Sunday we were fishing, and you can see we've set up her favorite flower on her fishing rod, and as we drove through the beautiful countryside, I remember her saying to me, she said, "Pick, I just want you to know that I've been through some dark times in my life, but I have prayed about this all and asked God to break any chains that bound me to my past. And I need you to know that God and I are okay now." Your faith carried you through. When life gave you some tough times, you were always there speaking words of encouragement. Well, life gave me some tough times. You were always there speaking words of an encouragement. And I will forever remember the 4 a.m. calls last year when I was going through a tough time. And she would just phone me early in the morning and just say to me, "You got this, girl." So you always tried to soften the blows by showing me the silver lining around each storm cloud that brewed. We shared our love for fly fishing and nature, and your favorite time of the day, as we all know, was sunrise. You would wake everybody in the house up when it was still dark to share the sunrise with you. It signified the beginning of a new day with new memories from God every morning. When life got heavy to bear for me, especially last year, you always knew when I needed to escape the four walls that surrounded me, and you took me fishing. You packed life full of energy. There was never a dull moment when you were around. And the phrase "dynamite comes in small packages" certainly fitted you perfectly. Saying goodbye to you today is the hardest thing I ever have to do. I love you, my girl, and I know I'm going to miss you terribly. I consider myself blessed today because God gave me not one, but 3 beautiful bundles of fun. Kate and Jolene, I love you guys, and I thank you for the incredible memories we made in the relatively short time that Tick was with us on earth. We certainly have her legacy to uphold. To my precious mom, I can't say thank you enough for how you raised us, even if we needed the odd clap or two. I do understand that this is the worst thing in the world to say goodbye to your child, and I'm very sorry for your hurt. I just want you to know that we are all here for you when you need us, and we know that God will carry you through this tough time. To Brent and Tars, our hearts bleed for you, my darlings, all right? We will always be here for you. You guys now have 3 auntie moms. I'm not sure if you should be nervous or happy about that, but we will always love you and be here for you whenever you may need us. Just know that your mom loved you fiercely. I mean fiercely. She often said to me, I would die for my children. A love that you guys will only understand when you become parents yourselves. To all my little nieces and nephews, who are also very sad to have lost such a fun-hearted aunt, hold on to the precious memories you all have of your Auntie Tick and let her live on in your hearts. To Sue and my school, who have really supported and helped me through these last 2 difficult weeks, I am very grateful for the support that I have received from the school, and am always thankful for how they step in and help me. Eugene, we know that you made her last few years on earth happy ones. I want to thank you for what you meant to her and for how you took a broken woman and gave her courage to face the world out on her own again. She told me, Pick, I'm not the same woman as I was a year ago. She would often say that to me. To Lexi, sorry, my girl, you also lost a woman you were so fond of and who was also very fond of you. Please know that it meant so much to her to get to know you, Jordan and Cruzy, and become part of your lives. My dad always said that God wouldn't have called heaven paradise if there was no fishing there. So I wish you and Dad Tick stay Velena, as I'm convinced that you've already caught a few trout together by now. So Hambagahle Matik, I will love and miss you forever.
Oldest, Jolene the baby, and Tick and we took the middle child syndrome together. Sometimes her being the older sister, sometimes me being the older sister. We were good like that. We swapped often. She was 2.5 years older than me, and I have to say it like that because every time I used to say 2 years or 3 years, then we would correct each other because it's exactly 2.5 years. But she was like my twin. We had this uncanny connection, and we were very similar in certain ways. If people heard my laugh, they would think it was Tick, and vice versa. Yet we were so different in many ways. We would purchase the same clothing without even realizing. I would arrive at her house, and she'd say to me, "Take my shirt off." And I'm like, "It's my shirt." We shared a love of running together. Well, we used to try. I had to encourage her to keep going at times, or she had to encourage me to keep going. But we managed many running adventures together, some 10Ks, some 21Ks. We went to Cape Town, and we ran the 2 oceans in Cape Town. I secretly tried to challenge her because I just had to beat her. I've got the more competitive nature, and Tick just said, "Hey, I saw your pink cap and your pink ribbon and you were gone." I never told her, though, that I secretly bribed my cousin to train me for the 21. And we managed to get him an entry. Both my cousins actually ran with us, Susie at the back there and Corne, and he was trying to catch me in the beginning to push me through and to make me beat Tick. And when Corne came past me, speeding past me, I just saw his dust because he's so fast. And he said to me, "Cuz, you got this. You're going to beat your sis." And I'm like, "I'm on track, boy." And yeah, I managed to beat her by just a little margin. We used to arrive at runs together, often wearing pink tops. Same thing, pink caps. I mean, those were just my memories of her. We were very similar in character. We managed to both find the lighter side of life. We laughed a lot, and Tick had this uncanny connection of making people feel the happiness in the room. We also cried a lot, and we got to dry each other's tears. Whenever we had our girls' trips or weekends, Renette and I always managed to share a room. As Mom said, she wasn't the tidiest person out. I had to make sure her PJs were neatly folded underneath her pillow so she wouldn't forget to put them on. Or pick up her shoes in case she tripped over them. So that's when I became the big sister. We used to finish each other's sentences, Tick and I. She had this amazing sense of humor. I often wished I had that knack of making people laugh like she did. In fact, on their Delstrom trip, they were at this coffee shop, and Renette was asking the owner of the coffee shop where they could go and squeak a tacky. And he turned around to her and he said, "You remind me so much of somebody I used to work with. Her name is Heidi Null." And she's like, "That's my little sister." It was the guy that I work with. I remember saying a few words at her 30th birthday. The guest star appearance on her 30th was Chico the Clown, as we had all these little children that we had to entertain. Then it was her 40th birthday, another function. I was proud to stand up and say a few words about my beautiful sister. Then her surprise 50th. But she managed to find out about the 50th, and she even phoned me and said to me, "Hey, what are you planning for my surprise birthday?" Girlie, I just never thought that I'd have to ever do a speech like this for you. You stood by my side for the past 50 years, and for that I am eternally grateful. Every speed bump, every heartbreak, every roastie, your encouragement during tough times, often listening to me and guiding me on the path. She'd often phone me, and her conversation would start, "I have to tell you something, but you're not allowed to tell anyone." And I'm sure that, as you know now, I mean, you guys are sitting here, so if you've ever told Renette a secret, one of us probably know about it. Thick and I had this love for Dochem Doris, and it's a word our family made up. Because if it wasn't a lipstick or a wrinkle cream or a lip liner or a lipstick that was currently trending or a body lotion, I've got reels and reels and reels on Instagram of all these things that we used to find and then meet on a Saturday and go and shop at Dischem and make our little cupboards full of this guck. Our two babies, Brenty and Kayla, are only 6 weeks apart. So the beginning stages of motherhood, she was there to guide me as well. And with my kids being 18 months apart, I mean, she knew when to take over and help me a bit. Brenty often had sleepovers at my house just to keep Kayla busy so I could focus on little M. Oh. The highlight for me was at my 50th recently, and I will treasure those memories and photos that I have, because the strength of our family is something that I truly, truly admire, and it was on display for everybody that day. Happiness and laughter. So text to keep your memory alive. We are off to Italy in September. Ali's going to partake in the Ironman adventure, and looking through things for us to do, he managed to find a marathon for us. 42 kilometers. We'll be running around Tuscany, some rolling hills, some olive groves, and through vineyards, the oldest marathon in Italy, and I will proudly wear my pink cap and my pink ribbon in your favor. I just don't know what Ali's going to do with a pink ribbon. To my beautiful sisters, we got this. We will always remember our beautiful Tick. Brent and Tara, our branches now become bigger, our nests slightly wider to accommodate the two of you. We love you. To your precious mom, I know the four of us stood proudly behind you, but just know that the three of us will tripod and carry you through these difficult times. I love you. My beautiful sister, how do I even find the words? You are kind, compassionate, a constant support, and a very fierce protection of everyone that you loved. Growing up, we were faced with some tough times, and I clearly remember you driving home, packing a bag for me, and taking me away for a few days to get me away from chaos. Not caring about whether I missed school, for how long, you just knew what I needed. Again, in another situation, picking me up from school on my 10th birthday, taking me to have my ears pierced, when the rule in our family was clearly only at 16. That has always been you. You were able to shut out the noise of the world and let your heart guide you. You lived your life to the fullest, and we're grateful for every single day on earth. It's just so hard for me to understand why your beautiful life was cut so short. You always said not one day on this earth is promised, and every single day is a gift. You always had such a positive outlook and managed to turn any heaviness lighter with your sense of humor and your presence. During the toughest 10 years for James and I waiting for our beautiful miracle babies, you were always there to listen, to let me cry, love, and hold my hand. When we announced our pregnancy, James made a video to show the family, and she realized halfway through the video that I was announcing that I was pregnant. She just started screaming and hugging me and screaming that she didn't even see the video and get to see that it was twins. Once we had calmed her down, I had to show her the video again by herself because she didn't see that part. Mum, I can't even imagine the pain and the void that you feel. Just know that we are always here for you and that we love you more than anything. To my sisters, I'm so sorry. We have so many memories to treasure, and she will be so missed, often spoken about, and so fondly remembered. I love you both so much, and will always be here for you both. There's going to be a huge, huge hole. To my darling James, thank you so much for being here with me, to wipe my tears, and hold my hand, and for being my strength when I don't have any. Tara and Brenty, you know that you were your mom's world. You've heard that a few times. She loved you both so much. Your mom's love doesn't go away just because she isn't here. It lives on inside of you and in all the things that she taught you. She will always be a very, very big part of who you are. It's okay to be sad, angry, and even to find joy in your memories. Granny and Auntie Puck, Auntie Haid, and I will always be there to listen whenever you want to talk, share a memory. You know that we're here for you. My beautiful Tick, I'm going to miss you every single day for the rest of my life. I'm so proud of you and the life that you built for yourself. I will see you in every sunrise. Let Daddy know that we love him and we miss him too. I'm sure there are amazing trout dams in heaven, or it wouldn't be called heaven. Rest and love, my beautiful girl.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for all for being here today as we celebrate the life of my mother, Renette. If my mom was standing here today, she'd probably be flattered by the situation, and she would likely tell us to stop making such a big fuss and somehow find a way to change it back to fishing. Anyone who knew my mom knew she was the kindest and most loving person you could ever meet. She had a way of making people feel welcome, cared for, and important. Her heart was bigger than anything else about her, and she gave that love freely to everyone. But while my mom was incredibly kind, there was one place where kindness occasionally took a back seat, and that was around a trout dam. If you ever thought a day of fly fishing with my mom was going to be a relaxed and peaceful affair, you were mistaken. She was competitive, very competitive. She wanted to catch fish, and preferably more fish than everyone else. If she outfished you, you were going to hear about it. And if you outfished her, well, she was probably planning how to beat you next time. Some of my favorite memories are the countless hours we spent around trout dams and on holidays. Just the two of us, whether it was spotting game in Kruger or watching the sunrise next to a dam. Looking back now, it wasn't really about the fishing or the place. It was about the conversations, the laughter, the lessons, and the memories we made. One holiday in particular always makes me smile. My mom, my aunt, and I went away together, and I brought a girl along I was seeing at the time. Now, in my mom's world, there were a few basic requirements for fitting into the family. You didn't have to be an expert fly fisher, but you at least had to be willing to pick up a fly rod and give it a try. And when you're spending time outdoors, sometimes you also have to be willing to make use of the nearest bush. Well, this poor girl wasn't interested in either. After watching this unfold for a few days, my mom gave me her honest assessment. Looking back now, I have to admit, she might have been right. Mom had a remarkable ability to read people, and apparently she considered a willingness to fly fish and pee in the bushes important character traits. Mom was also the person who ever so patiently taught me so much about fly fishing. Whenever I bought a new leader and made a mess of trying to rig it, she would be there to sort it out. She tied countless leaders onto my line, taught me new knots, and somehow made things look easy that never seemed easy when I tried myself. Those moments meant more than I ever realized at the time. They weren't just lessons about fishing, they were lessons about patience, sharing knowledge, and spending time with the people you love. And her caring nature wasn't limited to fishing trips. I remember the first time I came home after getting into a bar fight. I walked through the door with a ripped shirt, a bit of blood on me, and probably looking a lot tougher than I actually felt. Like any good mother, she rushed over to help, cleaned me up, and made sure I was okay. She listened to my version of the events, but I'm still not entirely sure she believed every detail of my story. But she never made me feel judged. Looking back, I think she was probably trying very hard not to laugh while deciding whether she should be worried about me or disappointed in my choice of evening activities. Another thing I'll always remember about my mom was her love of the sunrise. While most of us were still trying to convince ourselves to get out of bed, she was already awake, coffee in hand, and ready to welcome a new day. There was something about those early mornings that she loved. Maybe it was the peace, maybe it was the beauty, or maybe she just wanted to get to the fishing spot before everyone else did. When I think of her now, I think of those sunrises. I think of calm water on a trout dam. I think of laughter, adventure, and a woman who embraced life with kindness, enthusiasm, and love. Today, we are so heartbroken because someone so special is no longer physically with us. But we are also incredibly fortunate. Fortunate that we got to know her, fortunate that we got to love her, and fortunate that she loved us in return. Mom, thank you for every lesson, every holiday, every sunrise, every fishing trip, and every knot you patiently tied. The next time I'm standing at a trout dam struggling to tie a knot you could have tied in seconds, I'll be thinking of you. And if I happen to catch a fish, I'll probably hear your voice reminding me that you would have caught a bigger one. You were loved beyond words, and you will miss beyond measure. Rest peacefully, Mom. Thank you.
Mom, just 2 weeks ago, I was still in America when I got that call. And never in a million years did I imagine that I would be getting on a plane to come home and say goodbye to you. It still doesn't feel real. There are moments when I expect to hear your voice, your laugh, or see your name appear on my phone. The reality of losing you is something I'm still trying to understand. My mom was so much more than the role she played in our family. She was a daughter, a friend, a relative, and a person who touched the lives of so many people. She meant something different to each person who knew her. But to me, she was simply Mom. Anyone who knew my mom also knew that she was a character. She was funny, bubbly, and had a way of making every situation just a little more entertaining than it probably should have been. She never entered a room quietly, and she certainly never left one without making an impression. She had a laugh that could fill a room and a personality that was impossible to ignore. Sometimes she kept us on our toes, sometimes she drove us a little crazy, but always kept us smiling. Looking back, I think one of her greatest gifts was turning ordinary days into unforgettable ones. And if there was an adventure to be had, my mom was usually ready for it. She embraced life with curiosity and courage, whether it was a trip, a new experience, or simply saying yes to something unexpected. She reminded us that life is meant to be lived fully. She taught us not to wait for the perfect moment, but to make the most of the moments we are given. She squeezed every drop out of life, and she encouraged the people around her to do the same. We all know that as long as she was around, you were not allowed to miss a sunrise and hear the words, "Sleep when you're dead." So today, Mom, I hope you're finally resting peacefully with the Lord. As I move forward without you physically with me, I know I will see you everywhere. I will see you in every sunrise and every sunset, in every adventure, every burst of laughter, and every beautiful moment that reminds me of how precious life is. I know that I will grieve you longer than I got to be your daughter, but how lucky am I to have been your daughter at all. Thank you for your love, your laughter, your strength, and the countless memories you gave me. I love you, Mom. Rest in peace until we meet again.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just wondering. For those who don't know me, I am Hannah, and today I have the privilege of speaking on behalf of all of our Titik's nieces and nephews. As the oldest cousin, I'm standing here for those whose hearts are simply too heavy to speak. Firstly, to Brent and Taz, our hearts break for you. There are no words that can ease the loss of your mom, but please know that you are deeply loved and surrounded by. To my gran, my mom, Auntie Jolene, Auntie Haid, we send our deepest love and condolences. We also want to thank Uncle James and Alistair for being such incredible pillars of strength and support during this difficult time. Anyone who knew Auntie Tick knew she could find laughter in any situation, and had a heart that simply didn't know how to be unkind. Just 2 weeks ago, she bought me some clothes she'd been saving for me. Most of you know I was built for comfort and insulation rather than speed. But she looked at me and confidently said, "Hannah, I'm going to make you look so sexy." 2 weeks ago, on this Friday, we had planned a fashion show where I could model every outfit for her. Sadly, we never got to that chance, but every time I wear those clothes, I'll hear her voice cheering me on. Some of my favorite memories are dancing on tables with her, laughing until we cried, and living life without worrying what anyone else thought. So today, I promise to carry on that spirit, to laugh loudly, dance whenever I can, and maybe, just maybe, never be the first to leave the party. Auntie Tick loved fiercely, gave generously, welcomed everyone, and found joy in the simple beauty of a sunrise. And now I'd like to share the words of each of her beloved nieces and nephews. Kayla, Kiki. Dear Auntie Tick, knowing you and being a part of your family has been one of the most incredible parts of my life. You had a way of making everyone around you feel loved, welcomed, and cared about. And I truly believe that your kindness, generosity, and love for everyone around you should be an inspiration to us all. I look up to your free-spirited and adventurous outlook on life. It does not feel right that you are gone. I'll miss you every day and still cannot believe we have lost one of the world's most beautiful souls. Thank you for the memories and the love you have left with us. You'll always hold a very special place in my heart. Hayden. Dear Auntie Tick, I will never forget the trouble we got up to. From you racing in the street, asking everyone at a robot if they wanted to ask you, to me sneaking you some vape in the hospital. But I just want to say that we already miss you with all our hearts. You were a safe space for me to talk when I didn't make the best choices. That's right, eh? You were the glue that stuck all of our family and friends together. You helped me see the good even in the worst of times. You always had a smile on your face and on your face, no matter the situation. I'll greatly miss the times we've had fishing together, whether it was on the dam or on the bank of a river, or when Brent and I were still sleeping and you came running into the house with a trout in your hands. Thank you for being the amazing woman that you were, and thank you for being the best godmother any man could have had. I love you lots and hope you're having a wonderful time fishing with Opa in heaven. Rest in peace, my beautiful auntie. MZ, dear Auntie Tick, you were easily the loudest laugh and the wildest spirit in any room. The way you lived showed us that it's not only okay to be ourselves, but that life should be more embracing the chaos and having courage to always do what makes you happy. I'll always remember you chasing the parties, the laughter, and the moments that really mattered. And you always pulled up us along with you, whether we were screaming songs with you in the car, finding a dance floor in every room, or waking up far too early for you to enjoy the sunrise. No matter who you were with or where you were, we could always trust that we would have the most amazing time when you were around. And I know in my heart that you will continue to do that with the rest of our family surrounding you in heaven. You have been the life and soul of our family, and your joy will always stay with us. If I can grow to be even half as brave and spirited as you were, I'll know I'm honoring you in the best possible way. Rest in peace, my Auntie Tick. Lakey and Grace. Our precious Auntie Tick. Thank you for always making us feel loved and special. We remembered when we arrived in South Africa, how loud you screamed at the airport because you were so excited to see us. We loved laughing with you and the lollies you gave us when Mommy said no. On our tiger fishing trip, Auntie Tick asked Blake to wade in the water to help catch a fish, and every time he did, someone caught a fish. He tried it in New Zealand too, but it only worked in Africa. Auntie Tick always made us laugh. She was kind, joyful, cheerful, loud, and hilarious. We will miss you and your hugs so much, Auntie Tick. We know that you are safely with Jesus and He'll look after you in heaven. Rest in peace, Auntie Tick. Auntie Tick, thank you for teaching us all that life is meant to be lived with laughter, generosity, courage, and joy. Thank you for every sunrise, every dance, every fishing trip, every hug, every joke, and every memory. You may no longer walk beside us, but you will forever live within us. And every morning when the sun rises over the horizon, we will think of you. A quote here. She loved the sunrise because it reminded her that every day was a gift. Now, every sunrise will remind us that her light still shines in our hearts.
Oh, speaking in public is one of my greatest fears, but I'm certainly going to try today. Nate and I spoke so often about standing up and speaking at each other's funerals, what stories we would tell, the embarrassing moments we would share, and the secrets we would finally let out. But I never imagined I would be standing here so soon. None of us in this room were prepared for this. The hardest goodbyes are the ones you don't see coming. If there is one thing I've learned through losing my friend, it is this. We don't get to live this life twice, so hold on tightly to the ones you love. Have no regrets. Life moves far too quickly and tomorrow is never promised. I've been Ned's best friend for the past 30 years. The first 5 years of our friendship were largely fueled by vodka and coke, and where the next party was. To be honest, neither of us remember those years. So unfortunately, there isn't a great deal I can share about them. As the years went by, our friendship grew into something deeper. Ned became my business partner, which brought us even close together. We worked well together. We spoke on the phone every single day about our work, our family, life, and everything in between. She wasn't just my best friend, she became part of my everyday life. We shared countless weekends away, holidays, adventures, belly laughs, and memories that I will carry with me forever. From brushing teeth with vodka in a parking lot because we had no toothpaste, to sipping wine and Clarence enjoying the countryside. From lazy days in the Kruger Park to unforgettable weekends in Belito and Maritzburg. Then there was Zanzibar. For her 50th birthday, we went to Zanzibar together. We decided to reinvent ourselves that holiday. Ned became Barbara and I became Sally. Barbara managed to lose her passport at the airport, which I know doesn't surprise any of you, but we eventually made it to the island. On the way to the resort, playing Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline, we convinced our taxi driver to stop at a local shebeen in the plantations. There we sat under a tree drinking beer with the locals, and from that moment, the tone for the trip was set. During that week in Zanzibar, we somehow managed to get arrested for our bad behavior, and we were escorted back to our room by resort security. It's a long story, but in short, we had consumed far too much wine. We thought we were breaking into our room, which turned out to be somebody else's room. That was a block away. We stole the locals' bicycles to see how far we could get before being chased down. Barbara rode her bike straight through the reception area, through the dining area, and directly into the evening entertainment before abandoning the bike and running away. We spent our evenings drinking our favorite Serengeti wine on the beach, making friends wherever we went, dancing the night away, jumping off cruise boats, snorkeled every day, fed the turtles, finding the most amazing starfishes and cowries at low tide. Zanzibar will always be one of my favorite places because a piece of my heart will forever be there with you. Then came our final weekend together, a fishing weekend in Mtulumi with Haiti and Tavia. I'm so thankful for that weekend with you. Before Haiti and Tavia arrived, Renette and I had one evening to ourselves. We sat talking, laughing, and drinking wine until midnight. We caught so many fish that weekend. I realized what a gift that time was. I replay those videos just to hear you laugh again. What I miss the most are the ordinary moments, the daily phone calls, the 5 a.m. coffee chats, the messages that you were always there, always checking up on me. No one will ever replace you, my friend. You have left a space in my life that can never be filled, but I am so grateful for every moment we shared. Jeanette's beautiful family, who I call my own, Granny Jo, Haiti, Deline, Jolene, Ellie, James, Kayla, Emma, Hannah, Hayden, Grace, and Blake, Hilton and Nella, and the rest of the family. My heart breaks for all of you. I love and adore you, and I will always be here. I will always be here for each one of you as you try to navigate life without your tech. Tara and Brent, you know your mom loved you beyond measure. Not a day went by without her mentioning you both. Carry her legacy with you, her kindness, her generosity, and her love for life. Know that I'll always be here for you both whenever you need me. To Renette's many other friends, to Tina, Tracy, Carmen, Jax, Lisa, Lydia, Tavia, her gym and running friends, everyone at Brokershaw, our work colleagues, and every person gathered here today. You are here today because your lives were touched by her love and her deep friendship for each one of you. Lexi, thank you for playing such a big role in her life. She adored you and didn't stop talking about you. Tina, thank you. You came into her life this past year or more, and she treasured all the moments and chats you had together. To Eugene, you were the love of her life. The way she spoke about you and the love she carried for you was something truly special. That love doesn't end today. It will continue to live in your heart, in your memories, and in every sign that reminds you she is still close by. Thank you for making her so happy. So this is it, my beautiful Nate. Our chapter together has come to an end, and what a chapter it was. Thank you for every laugh, every adventure, every lesson, every phone call, and every memory. Thank you for being my person for the past 30 years. I will think of you whenever I watch the sunrise over the ocean, when I pour a glass of wine, when I hear a song you loved, and whenever life gives me a story so ridiculous that only you would appreciate it. You are deeply loved and will be deeply missed. As long as we all continue to tell your stories, laugh at your adventures, and carry you with us, a part of you will never be gone.
Today I stand here with a heart that feels broken in many ways that I never knew possible. When you lose someone you love, people often ask what they were like. How do you explain who they were? How do you fit an entire life, an entire love story into a few words? The truth is you can't. Because Renette wasn't just one thing. She was laughter, she was kindness, she was the warmth. She was the person who could walk into a room full of strangers and leave with a room full of friends. In fact, the other side of Woolworths would be a stop at every few steps to talk to someone she knew. I hear her laughter. I still remember the first time I saw her at Da Vinci's dancing on the... They saw it in the way we laughed together. They saw it in the life we were building together. And most of all, they saw it in the love we shared. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for making me believe in a kind of love I never thought I would experience. Thank you for every laugh, every adventure, every dream we built together. You may have been our dwarf, but you left a footprint far bigger than most people ever will. I will miss you every day. I will love you every day. And until we meet again, save me a seat. And please, don't spend too long talking to everybody before I get there. Knowing you, you probably already introduced yourself to half of heaven and gone fishing with the other half. Thank you for being my greatest blessing. Thank you for being my home. If I had to choose between breathing or loving you, I would say, I love you with my last breath. Rest peacefully until we meet again.
Thank you, everyone. I think let's stand and let's sing, just to stretch your legs. And so we're going to sing Goodness of God.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Thank you. Please be seated. I'm not going to keep you for too much longer because I think the tea is probably getting cold. But just Ecclesiastes. I've got two passages that I want to read to you and a short thought. We'll keep it short. Before I do, did you take 2 bags to school as the twin sister? Okay, just check. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter and a time to gather. A time to embrace and a time to refrain. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love, a time to hate. A time for war, a time for peace. I think Renette understood that in her life. Because it sounds like from all that you've said, she had this incredible balance happening of a great work ethic, of a get on and do it. But we need to laugh, and we need to dance, and we need to celebrate. I need to confess at this point that I have lived in Underberg on the Msunduzi River. And so you've got to do it. I've only ever caught 3 things. As every fly fisherman has ever done, I'm sure, myself. The sheepdog running behind me, and a kingfisher hovering over the river. At that point, sorry, Renette, my fishing days are done. I'm going to read to you another passage, John 14, where Jesus is just in this incredible space where he's gathered his 12 closest friends together. And he's basically telling him it's his time to die. Jesus says, we'll go backwards a little bit to John 13. Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified. I'm at this point in my life, I'm sorry. Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son in himself, and will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and just as I told the Jews, so I tell you now, where I am going, you cannot come. A new commandment I give to you. Love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. And by this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. And Peter, as Peter always does in the Bible, says, Lord, where are you going? Jesus says, where I'm going, you cannot follow me, but you will follow me later. Peter again, Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you. Jesus says, will you really lay down your life for me? Very truly, I tell you, before the cock crows, you will disown me 3 times. Here's the comfort. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. Why would have I told you I'm going there? To prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. Incredible hope. In the Old Testament, we have this time and a season for everything. And we can question this season as it's not fair, and it's a why, and a what if. And yet in the New Testament, we are given this encouragement and this hope and this way forward, where Jesus is just saying to his people, saying to us, I'm preparing a place for you. Now, this place that Jesus is preparing is not a building site. There are no angelic plumbers and electricians and cosmic supervisors. Jesus is preparing as a place of relationship. Yes, there is a physical place too, but it's more than that. And so we'll look at these words in John 14, and I imagine the atmosphere in that room. The celebration of the Passover meal, the 12 close friends, the shadows lengthening outside, with only hours before this betrayal of Jesus coming. And the purpose of Jesus speaking these last words is to prepare his disciple for his departure, for them to be ready for the time of heartbreak, for the time of sorrow, the time of mourning that they are about to face. And yet, Jesus follows that preparation with this incredible reassurance. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Yes, there are terrifying events coming. Yes, you are living right now in a horrible space. But trust God actively. Don't be consumed by despair. I know it's very easy to say that. But the promise is that Jesus will come back. The promise is that he will take us to be with him. The promise is that Renette is with him already. Far superior fishing equipment to this. And so, understand what Jesus means by a room or a dwelling place. If anyone who loves me, he will obey my teaching, says Jesus. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. The same room, the same space, the same word is used there. Because it's not about a location in the sky. It's not about some heavenly dwelling place. In this farewell sermon, Jesus is not talking about some future reward that we get to look forward to. It's a description of a shared life with God right now. And so I want you to step back to realize what it means for you today as you sit here and as you mourn and as you grieve. That John 14 is not exclusively about a physical destination called heaven. It's not a map to follow. Because when Thomas turns to Jesus and asks the question, Lord, we don't know where you are going. How can we possibly know the way? Which I didn't read, but it comes up. Jesus turns to answer. He says, open your Google Maps. No. He doesn't describe golden gates or physical dimensions. He says, here's incredible words. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. What Jesus is doing here is he's telling us both the destination and how to get there. And that destination is a person. He's telling us not so much about a somewhere, but as a someone. We're going to the Father, heaven, united once together with God. Jesus is telling his friends that by dying and rising again, he is going to pave the way and prepare a space for them to live in constant communion with God. And it's not a situation where you have to book now for Zanzibar because all the good rooms are being taken, especially to those who are sitting outside. Sorry. Understand that God's house is not a distant place. It's not a piece of real estate. But it's a connection, it's an abiding, it's a way of completely changing your lives. And yes, we can have an incredible life of celebration and of laughter and of joy and of happiness and partying and everything that Renette was. And yet today it is so much more than that. Renette was not a lady to sit around and wait for her life to happen. She lived with a sense of presence. She has this deep, unshakable love for her family. Clearly, we saw that through the multiple stories that we were told about her. And yet, by the fact that there are so many people here, family was not just a biological thing for her. She loved and supported many, creating a space of warmth and caring, even the people in Woolworths. And of course, we've got to remember and mention and just for a moment those incredible sunrises that were for her a gift. A sacred transition where darkness of night yields to the promise of the day. To love a sunrise is to be a person of hope. It means you are looking forward. You are ready for the welcoming light. You're aware that each day is a fresh canvas given by our Creator. And Renette didn't have to wait until she closed her eyes for the final time on earth to know what it feels like to live in her Father's house, to be in His presence, to be in heaven. Because she allowed through her life, through her loves, to live that. She embraced her children every time she cast the fishing line. Now, when I heard that she was a fisherman, I certainly did picture this quiet, tranquil, serene, happy fishing space, not this serious competition. And yet, is it not an incredible thing to be doing? Putting on the waders and just going and enjoying the silence. And so I want to just encourage you as you leave today, as you go back to the routines of your daily lives, I want to challenge you to carry Renette's spirit forward. A couple of ways. First of all, sisters, learn to knit. Renette knitted, and she was... Sorry, the comment for those who can't hear was, we're too young. I want you to inhabit your own seasons with the same grace and authenticity that she did. To appreciate sunrises. Yes, that means getting up 3 a.m. To love each other as fiercely as she loved you. To find those quiet spaces where you can stand in the current of God's love. Simply be. If there's I need to quote Tara. just to close, if there's an adventure to be had, my mom was usually ready for it. She embraced life with curiosity and courage, whether it was a trip, a new experience, or simply saying yes to something unexpected. She reminded us that life is meant to be lived fully. She taught us not to wait for the perfect moment, but to make the most of the moments given. She squeezed every drop out of life, and she encouraged people around her to do the same. What a magnificent legacy to leave behind. So honor Renette's memory by doing the same. And ultimately, trust a Savior who's prepared a place for you. Learn to rest and abide in His love today, and to step into tomorrow with the same curiosity and the same courage and the same beautiful fullness of life that Renette showed every day. Let's pray. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Father God, it is so hard to say goodbye to somebody so full of life and so loved. And yet today we are. And so, God, I ask you to bring up a sense of peace, a sense of hope, a sense of courage in knowing that this is not the end of the journey. This is not the end of the story. This is not the end of the dash. But it's a new, incredible, exciting beginning for Renette. And yet, Lord, for those of us who are left here today, there's still heartache, there's still loneliness, and there's still sorrow. And I ask you, Lord, to allow each person in this room to look after each other and to live their lives as fully as Renette did. Amen. And close with a very, very traditional prayer. And then the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, slow to anger, and of great goodness. As a father is tender towards his children, so is the Lord tender towards those that fear him. For he knows of what we are made. He remembers we are but dust. The days of man are but as grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field, and when the wind goes over it, it is gone, and its place will know it no more. But the merciful goodness of the Lord endures forever towards those that fear him, and his righteousness upon their children's children. And so today, into the Lord's most gracious mercy and protection, we have to entrust our sister Renette. And as we commit her body, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in the sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died and was buried, but rose again. To him be the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you very much, folks. I'm going to encourage you can turn your phones back on and tea and coffee that way and enjoy just remembering this beautiful lady.
Tough one.